What's up, everyone? Welcome back to The Ghost of Lord Master Starscream. And today we have a whole lot of stuff right here next to me to unbox. So I'm excited to start opening this stuff. I have someone on the phone right now, so I'm going to be muting myself because the person that's on the phone will be deciding what I get to open up first from second to third. And I'm going to put a link out there, and I have to send a message to 2 people right now. Let them know I'm live. Let me see here. Post a comment. I'm going to put the link out there, so if anyone wants to jump in, I'm going to send out the text now that I'm live. And hopefully good old turkey ass will get in here, and you'll know who I'm talking about in a minute. Oh, shoot. Okay, got texted Ruben. Hey, whoever's watching, feel free to join. We got an unboxing ahead of us. So I'm gonna go on live as long as I can because TFN Geek wants to join. I'm hoping I won't get too tired. So yeah, I'm gonna. Let me see. And looks like he's coming. So turkey ass is coming. Let's see here. Okay. Let me see here. And like I said, we got a good unboxing today. So yeah, like I said. Okay, like I said, turkey ass is coming. So, and got 2 viewers. Yeah, get in here, boy. So yeah, like I said, I have an unboxing. I've been waiting from I woke up right around 10 this morning or something like that, and I've been waiting for my box to come in. Even yesterday, I'm sorry that I had to cancel the thing yesterday. The package didn't come in. I got really pissed. I stayed outside in the heat for nothing. Hey, TFN Geek. Hey, the link is in the chat. If no one sees the link in the chat, let me know. I will send the link through Discord. But like I said, I have someone on the phone, so you ain't gonna be able to hear no voices. That's none of your business in a funny way. So, like I said, I have 4 items here, but one of them I might not open, but just depending. Let me in. Oh, okay, so the link is not in the chat. Okay, I guess StreamYard's acting up. Okay, copy. All right, I'm going to send you guys the link, TFN Geek and Ruben Soto, or more known as Turkey Ass, because I know he likes himself some turkey butt. He's going to murder me watch him murder me when he gets in. Oh, shoot. Okay, I got some text here. Let's see who gets in first. Okay. Place. TFN Geek. Yours was sent first. And Ruben, you were sent second. Ha! All right, let's see who hops in first. Now it's a race. Who's going to get in first? Who's getting in? Who's getting in? Come on. I have items here I want to unbox. I've been waiting for these. I'm going to say, if you haven't seen the live video, but if you guys have, I was shocked on what I got. 2 of the items I knew I was getting, one of them I guessed on, but the other one was a shock to me. I'll join in 1 minute. Okay, take your time, man. No rush. So yeah, as soon as Ruben hops in, I'm going to start unboxing. I already have the first item lined out. Let me make sure. Okay. All right. Like I said, if you hear some noises, just, like I said, none of your business. All right. So yeah, the first one will be unboxing. And for those who haven't saw my previous video, I'm not going to, well, actually, I already showed you guys at the beginning of the video. You got your tease, even on the thumbnail. So what's the point? But we're going to be doing the Bumblebee movie Starscream. I was going to unbox him during the live stream, but unfortunately I had things to do, so I decided to push it off to now. And the reason why I'm starting this early, or hang on, let me make sure there's no one in the backstage. No one's backstage. Hang on, let me make sure everyone's links is working, just in case. Because I don't know if I'll have glitches or not. Because apparently putting the link out in the YouTube description is just not working now anymore. Okay. All right, everyone seems to be good, I guess. All righty. All right, let's see who hopped in first. All right, turn on my camera. Oh gosh, guys, you get in fast. I don't know who was the first one to hop in now. Wow. What's up, Fan Geek?
Hey, long time no see.
What's up, Ruben?
Why do you start calling me turkey butt boy?
Turkey butt. So how you guys been doing all day today?
I've been doing fantastic.
Oh my gosh, this was a good day. I'm just shocked on what Otto sent me. So like I said, thank you, Otto, for the stuff you sent me. So yeah, and I'm really excited to start unboxing this one right here.
No, where'd you get that?
Auto Crep Primer sent me this. I got Kingdom.
Lucky. I tried to ask him if he could send me one, but he hasn't responded.
I'll make sure to let him know. And I got the Bonely Movie Starscream.
Oh, nice.
And also this one was an accident, but he still sent it regardless. He sent me another Blur figure. So he told me to hold on to it. And also this one I asked him to pre-order for me, so I'm gonna have to send him the money for that one. So yeah. I was expecting the package to come in yesterday, but I guess the post office has been going crazy now, so finally got it in today.
Oh yeah, super jealous. I went to Target this weekend, found nothing.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome to my world when there's nothing.
So while we are talking, I'm going to be unboxing the B movie Starscream. Says. Anyways, so yeah. So nothing. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, nothing at all. They technically had 2 copies of Kingdom RC, but that was it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Did you oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't get any. I only got 1 Transformer last month. That was it.
Oh man. What was it? Did you? So I guess you seen the footage for Kingdom that they showed off?
I have.
What do you think?
I'm excited to see it.
Oh yeah, and the new footage they showed off. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
What do you think of Primal's voice?
Okay, for what it is. I mean, it is a low budget show, so
yeah, that's
I think
true.
they found voice actors that are close to the characters.
Yeah, I see a lot of people complaining about it, but hey, at least just watch it before you start judging it. It might be better when you watch it.
Yeah. But did you see in the trailer that Ultra Magnus has red eyes?
Yeah, I'm curious about that. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it wouldn't impress me if it's like a hologram of Nemesis Prime, like taking a form or something like that. I'm curious about that. But what were you gonna say?
Oh, I forgot. That means one of 2 things Ultraman's having red eyes. Either he's possessed or he's a zombie.
Yeah. Yeah, and Prime was driving towards him, say, "I am not your enemy," and he says, "You are my nemesis."
Yeah, and so
And
my question, what I processed from that footage of the trailer is Ultra Magnus just hallucinating that Optimus Prime is Nemesis Prime, or will Nemesis Prime be a separate character?
I'm curious about that too. And there was also a little bit of footage shown that Optimus Prime was holding his gun in the snowy area, like where we saw Nemesis Prime during Earthrise when he
Oh yeah,
made
that
it.
place. Yeah, that's the Dead Universe from IDW's comic books.
Yeah, and Prime was briefly seen in one of the footages shooting up at something.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys know what the Dead Universe is, right?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, but yes, that's But
Was
yeah,
that mine?
I'm just
Oh.
wondering if you know, from everything I've seen and the way that the character has been advertised for the Kingdom line, I'm just wondering if they're going to mirror the Beast Wars cartoon series and have Dinobot start off as a Predacon, but then he's going to like go through the hero's revelation and become a Maximal like he did in the Beast Wars series.
Yeah, and see what, like,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
what.
because in one of the, well, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, kind of like Jetfire, he believes in honor, and kind of have him go through the same thing. Like, this is not honor, this is honor.
Yeah, because in the Siege series, that's what happened with Jetfire. He went through a lengthier hero's revelation than he did in the G1 cartoon series, where by the end of the episode that he was introduced in, he decided that he wanted to be an Autobot instead of a Decepticon, and I'm just thinking they're going to do the same with Dinobot. He was going to start off as one of Beast Wars Megatron's villainous Predacons. He's going to go through the hero's revelation and become one of Optimus Primal's Maximals by the end of the series.
Yeah. And I will point this out real quick. The Starscream definitely looks good, but I will point this out. I don't know if this is on everyone's copy. It looks like one of his little gun things here is a little bit loose, but nothing a little bit of, I think, floor polish can't fix. But
that figure, I don't own that figure, and I don't plan on getting it. Is that mold mates with Studio Series Bumblebee movie Blitzwing, or is it a new mold?
I think he's a heavy remold, in my opinion.
Okay. So I was going to say on my copy, because I got that figure because I turned it into G-Axis. I customized it.
Oh, nice.
I turned it into the character of G-Axis, and I based his paint job from the Generation 2 comic books. But I noticed one of the problems with that figure is that the 5mm ports, they were a hairline bigger than the 5mm pegs of his accessory pieces, so they didn't secure and place that too well. So that's why I'm kind of glad that on that figure there's additional pegs that his accessory pieces attached to in both robot and jet mode.
I know how to fix it.
Oh, go ahead, Ruben.
Pretty glue, and that's it. Just rub it
Did
around the peg, and that's it.
Did you know if Autocorrect Primer is going to come and join us tonight?
No, I think he's busy on the land and he has no service.
I miss talking with him. Every single live stream that Autocorrect Primer's done, he does it. He's been doing it when I've been at work, and so I missed the live stream by about 1 hour after he's done.
Oh man.
Yeah, I've tried to join in every live stream for the past 2 weeks, and every time it's because of the time zones. Since I'm 3 hours behind you, every time I try to join in, they're already finished. So yeah, I just barely missed the window of opportunity to be able to join you guys. Part of the reason is that the past few weeks, it's just, I know it's just coincidence, but it's a nasty coincidence. But most of the nights that you and Autocorrect Primer, and even on the YouTube channel Community for Us All, whenever on the nights that you do your live streams, at my job, they asked me to close up the store So I basically do the quote unquote night shift. So by the time I get home, the live stream is over. So I miss it. So I'm really glad you asked me to join you, Lord Master Starscream. Thank you for that.
No problem. Yeah, that's why I put it to this time. So
yeah.
And did you see the artwork for the new Kingdom figures they showed off today?
Yes,
I see. Yeah, I did. I don't know if you guys have subscribed to his channel, but there's a Transformers reviewer. His name is Toys R, the word R-A-R-E, and then his last name is Russ, R-U-S-S. Toys R Russ, and he showed off today. And then I went to Hasbro's website and looked at it. Two of the characters who's shown were Bumblebee and Ratchet. Bumblebee's artwork is a colorized version of the artwork on the box of his Netflix figure, and then Ratchet's artwork is based on the Siege figure. And so Toys R Us was speculating, and I'm wondering the same thing. Does that mean that possibly Bumblebee and Ratchet might get re-releases in the Kingdom line the way Optimus Prime and RC did?
I'm actually pretty excited for the buzzworthy Bumblebee, Cybertronian Bumblebee for Siege.
Yeah. I'm super jealous you got that. Galvatron's Galvatron's at the top of my list right now. I've been waiting to see when he'd appear at my local Target store, but so far my Target store has been a dud.
Yeah, in my opinion, this is a rare figure to find. In my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, half the websites that are selling Wave 3 of the Kingdom line, they're still saying that they won't get released until August or September. And so my thinking is that Wave 3 was originally going to be released in September, but then retailers who wanted to be quick about releasing them decided to bump up the release date from September to July. And so now half the retailers are releasing Kingdom Wave 3 right now. The other half are lagging behind. So that's why some places are easier to find the Kingdom Wave 3 figures and others aren't.
And by the way, I was going to mention this. I ordered the Transmetal Optimal Optimus from the old Beast Wars series.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I should be getting that in on Saturday. And let's see what card. Oh, wow. They legit taped up the whole card. Or not. No, there ain't no tape on it, but enough so no one couldn't get to it. Oh, my gosh. Wow. But I'm actually looking forward to seeing what Tigertron looks like. But go ahead.
Right on the. Well, it's 75% certain at this point that Tigertron's going to be a Voyager class-sized figure. So even though he has the same transformation as Cheetor, the chances are unlikely he's going to be mold mates with Kingdom Cheetor. If he is, then fans are going to be disappointed because it's going to be just like most of the leader class figures and even some of the Voyagers, like Studio Series Hot Rod. Studio Series Hot Rod's a Voyager that's a deluxe figure, and if Tigertron ends up being mold mates with Cheetor, it's going to be the same case. You're paying $30 for a Transformers figure that's only the size of the ones that sell for $20.
Yeah, and I was lucky to get Hot Rod, and here's the card that comes with him. It's the Dinobot sticker, so I'm curious if it's the Black Arachnia one. Oh!
Oh my God!
Dynamis.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm shocked.
So that's what I'm wondering. Yeah, so that's what I'm wondering. Is Dinobot going to be one of the characters that touches the matrix of leadership? Or more likely probably won't in the Netflix series, and that's just what Hasbro and Takara Tomy are alluding to, is what Dinobot's name would be if he touched the matrix of leadership.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah,
Let's find out.
I'm actually excited for the series, and still no trailer for it.
I know, only 2 teaser trailers whose footage I think only equates, like a minute at most.
Yeah, and I think they're trying, like, a lot of the stuff is spoilery, and they already have a pre-order for the soundtrack for the series also.
Yeah.
And and I already read a lot of the stuff that was on it, and I don't know if you did, but a lot of the stuff I'm excited for from what I've read on it.
Oh yeah. Well, I saw someone make the joke on TFW 2005 the other day that by the time an official trailer of Kingdom is going to be released, it'll have already been released on net. The whole series will have been released on Netflix.
Oh God. By the way, what do you think about the new Transformers movie that's about to come out, Rise of the Beasts?
I'm pretty excited for it. I just hope that fans stop belly aching about whether or not if it's accurate to the original series. And I had this with Autocorrect Primers live streams in the past. This topic. Picard, Tomy, and Hasbro both tread a fine line when releasing new movies and TV series on the Transformers franchise because they want to make it a brand new series, yet they know if they change too much, Transformers fans are going to complain. It's nothing like what they've seen before. And so Hasbro and Takara Tomy have to find the hairline of balancing out, having it similar to what was released in the past, but have it be brand new at the same time. Because examples of when they tried to make an entirely brand new Transformers series include the Robots in Disguise 2001, Unicron Trilogy, and also Transformers Animated. Same Transformers characters we saw in the past, but they were drastically different storylines, and here in the United States, set in new alternate universes. So, and if they try to make a cartoon too much like it was before, you get Machinima's Prime Wars trilogy cartoon series, which used too much from the source material and wasn't drastically different enough that people didn't find it entertaining enough that everyone actually enjoyed that it was released as a web series instead of being released on any of the digital cable providers.
By the way, have any of you seen Bolt Matrix's review on him showing off how to rub off all the stuff and the battleware, right?
No.
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, he actually took like rubbing alcohol, like legit. You can rub off all the battle damage and all this right here. This comes off really easy with alcohol or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And also the voice actor that played Optimus Primal and Optimal Optimus in the Prime Wars trilogy is coming back.
I wonder if he's going to voice Dinobot.
Well, from what I heard, he's going to be voicing Primal again.
Well, he did. I think he did a good job in that series portraying Optimus Primal's voice.
Yeah, I went back and rewatched the series with him. I'm curious on how good it's actually going to be.
Oh yeah, and I think the animation style is increased well.
And also, I think it's cool that not only we're getting Maximals and Maximals, Predacons, Autobots, and Decepticons, but we're getting Terrorcons that are going to be the main villains, and Scourge is going to be the leader for the Rise of the Beast show, or not show, Rise of the Beast movie coming out next year.
Oh yeah, so everyone's so excited about it.
And I think Scourge is going to be a brutal character because from what I heard, like his description, like he's a bounty hunter like Lockdown from Transformers: Age of Extinction, and whenever he kills his targets, he tattoos their faction logos onto his body. So,
oh yeah,
I'm curious. And from the description I've heard of him, I think it's going to be Scourge, not G1 Scourge, but it's going to be Scourge from the car Robots in Disguise series. So, because they described that he had smoke stacks.
So that's one thing.
Go ahead.
That's one thing I've been wondering. Are they going to do something where like Scourge and Nemesis, Scourge from Robots in Disguise 2001 and Nemesis Prime are the same character? Or are they going to do something where a Scourge, Generation 1 Scourge, mutates into Robots in Disguise 2001 Scourge? Then he mutates into Nemesis Prime after that. You know, almost like a descent into pure evil. You get it?
Yeah.
That theory?
Yeah.
Yeah, so do you think they're trying to go for that, or do you think that would be too drastic storytelling that they would not do that at all?
I'm curious on what they're going for with that. Since, I mean, they're not going for a G1 Scourge. I'm actually pretty curious. Like, and also, from what I heard, that even though they only listed off Primal, Air Razor, and Rhinox in the series, but someone that got to visited the set and he got to see a cardboard cutout of what the actors have to react to. He described, and it was, I think, Transformers Flag podcast. He couldn't say what it was. I thought it was Ultra Magnus, but he said the character was Ultra Gear. And when I heard that word Ultra, I thought it was Ultra Magnus, but someone corrected me saying that is one of Cheetor's catchphrases. He says Ultra Gear.
It's been a while since I've watched the Beast Wars series. What happened to me, I heard so many people say so many great things about the Beast Wars series. I finally decided back in 2018, after being a Transformers fan for 15 years, I decided to finally give the Beast Wars series a chance, and I binge watched all 52 episodes of Beast Wars across a 2-day span. And only one time watching Beast Wars for me to become an instant fan of the series.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the Beast Wars when I first watched it, but after rewatching it after a couple of years, I actually enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually not a bad series. I've grown to like it more and more I watch it.
The CGI animation is outdated compared to today's standards, and I'm super jealous. Stop showing that thing. It's driving me bonkers. Seeing you with that.
And as Autocorrect Primer says, he's got his bling on.
Show her more.
and I actually like the. Oh, I was gonna say I actually like the. Even though people are complaining about, I like the little mini ships, the Revenge.
Oh yeah.
They're actually nicely detailed. And you could just combine them to make a super Revenge. But anyways, go ahead.
Why not? Yeah, and I think they're decent accessory pieces, but it kind of makes me wish we had like little miniature arcs to rival those. That way you could like have if you want to do a stop motion series of a spaceship battle, those things are small enough. You could do one fairly accurate to the G1 series. Even though the Ark and the Revenge spaceships never actually clashed with each other, it's still a fun thing to do if we had versions of the Ark small enough to do so.
Have you seen Prime versus Prime's review of the Ark?
Yes.
I have watched his review.
I actually think that figure is pretty cool. I'm hoping I could get my hands on it.
Especially if you know what the robot mode is based on, that makes it all the more entertaining.
Yeah, the last Autobot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna bring this up real quick. Let me quickly grab them real quick, and I dropped my tools, but it's okay. But I'm gonna say this, and from the Titans Return Galvatron right here and the Kingdom version, I will have to say that the Kingdom version is definitely worth it. Like, I love the Titans Return one. This is the first Galvatron I got, but like I said, they could easily, let me get this one out of the way because I don't want to knock him over, but they could have easily taken this peg right here and easily put it on the side of his arm, and it wouldn't have. Like, I'm looking at the engineering, and you guys can look too. Like, if you just taken that peg and put it right here, it would have worked.
Well, that would have made Titans Return Galvatron all the more amazing, and would make today make collectors have a similar opinion comparing Kingdom Rhinox with Generations Rhinox. Which version's the better version? It's hard to tell with Rhinox, but with Galvatron, the simple act of the Kingdom figure having the shoulder cannon be on the outside of the arm instead of the front, that makes it the better figure.
Yeah, and I will say this: even though you get an option to put the cannon on the upper part of his arm and the lower part, personally, I feel like the cannon belongs on the lower arm.
Yeah, well, I actually looked at and I knew that was going to come up, and so I hope you don't mind if your live stream is where I pointed out Lore Master Stars.
Yeah,
to say.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, so I compared some photos of Galvatron, the Generation 1 action figure of him, with photos of his animation model from the G1 series. The reason why he has two ports is because the port on the upper arm is where the original Generation 1 Galvatron action figure, that was where his fusion cannon attached, was the upper half of the arm. But if you watch the G1 cartoon series, it was the lower arm where Galvatron's fusion cannon was attached. So that's why you have those two options on the Kingdom figure. You put it on the upper arm, you have G1 action figure accuracy. Put it on the lower arm, you have G1 cartoon accuracy.
Yeah. And also, I think this will make you a little more excited, TFN Geek, if you don't know about it. And yes, I'm going to unbox the Blur because that way I could have one to transform and one to leave on the shelf. And I'm probably going to do a review of the Blur figure. But like I was saying, the Hasbro Pulse, I believe, is going to come out with Galvatron, and it's probably going to be in the gray colors.
Oh yeah, it's rumored that we're going to get in the Generation Selects line a mostly gray G1 action figure version of Galvatron.
I wouldn't mind getting that, even though it's based on concept art. Still, be cool to have in the collection.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the things that happened with the Generation 1 version of Galvatron. They only had photos of the prototype animation model to work with when designing the figure. That's why Generation 1 Galvatron ended up being gray, while in the series he was actually purple. Because apparently it was a color swap decision made for the G1 movie before the manufacturers had already started producing gray versions of Galvatron.
If
I remember correctly, I thought I read somewhere the reason why Hasbro wanted to change Galvatron from gray to purple is because, what I read, and please don't quote me on this because I'm not 100% certain, the main reason why Galvatron went a color change from gray to purple was because some of the executives at Hasbro felt that if Galvatron was mostly gray with purple highlights, that it would be a paint job too similar to Megatron that fans would end up going, why didn't you just leave him as Megatron? Why did you rename him Galvatron and switch out his black parts with purple ones? So that's one of the reasons why Galvatron underwent doing a new paint job.
I'm gonna guess that's probably the reason why. Like, it'll have Galvatron stand out more to Megatron. Like, instead of have them both be gray, have them both be different.
Uh-oh.
Let me see here.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm gonna guess that's the reason.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say this Blur figure. Even though I already have this figure, this Blur is pretty awesome looking. The head is not much G1 accurate, but it's still a cool figure.
And if you want, you can take one of the Battle Masters from the Siege line and give him his Target Master partner, and then you can have both a Target Master and non-Target Master version of Blur if you desire.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look into that.
That's the most entertaining way I can think of having two copies of Studio Series Blur.
And also, not many people know this, that you can take the welding torch and you can put it on his shoulder. and it was shown on the Shatter Glass figure. You can put it on.
Mm-hmm. And did you watch Ninja Bill's review of Blur?
No, not yet. I haven't.
He found a place. He found a place where you can store, or that. What is it called again?
I'm gonna call it a blowtorch.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. He found out that there's a hollow cavity area inside Blur when he's transformed into his alt mode that it fits comfortably in there. And so in his review, he had said that he wondered if that was the original intended spot for it, rather than simply having it attached to a laser gun forming the underside of Blaster's nose section in vehicle mode.
And let me do this real quick. And I'm going to say this. I'm actually excited. I'm wondering if any of those Kingdom figures since they only showed the artwork, like Waspinator and Punch. No, it's not Punch Counter Punch. What was the name of that? I forgot his name. Yeah, well, I know that they showed off Shadow Panther, Pipes, Waspinator, Tigertron, and there was another character I think was supposed to be with Metroplex.
Yeah, Slammer.
Yeah, Slammer, which looks like a totally different mold. The people said he would have been a repaint of Warpath.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. The generation. Part of the reason why he's probably being given his own mold is because in the G Generation 1 version of Slammer, he was almost the opposite of Six Gun. The Generation 1 version of Six Gun, he didn't actually have his own vehicle mode. He was a robot that was made from the combining of 6 laser guns that Metroplex came with. Slammer was the opposite. He was a laser gun that transformed into a tank, but he didn't actually have his own mode. So yeah, similar to how Six Gun got a jet mode when his Siege Deluxe class figure was released in 2009, that's going to be the same with Slammer. If he's given his own robot mode, it'll be the first time that he transforms into a robot.
Uh-oh. Oh, you got the Godzilla.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, I'm gonna die.
When I watched Lord Master Starscream's other live streamer, his other video earlier, I thought that was the only thing he got.
Sorry, what's that? Yeah, what's that, man?
Yeah, I thought that Godzilla figure was the only thing you got from Autocrat Primer.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm still gonna have to send some money to Otto on the Godzilla figure, but I was expecting the Godzilla figure and the Starscream. I didn't expect anything else to come in. Oh, guys, that brand new plastic smell that just blew up in my face just now. Yeah. Anyways, like I was saying, yeah, I was just shocked.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Today's July 1st, so I can say it. Last month, my family and I went to Walmart twice. And both times I went, I was looking to see if they had any copies of Netflix Soundwave. No luck. So I've accepted the fact that I'm never going to own Netflix Soundwave.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay, as I was loosening up the joints, I popped his tail off, but I thought I broke it for a minute, but it popped back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this figure is definitely this version is definitely more articulated than the NECA version I got, but anyways. And, yeah, I'm still hoping I can, yeah, me and Otto are keeping an eye out for the Netflix Soundwave for you. I'm hoping.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, but I wanted to ask, please, if you find Kingdom Galvatron first, please send me that, because I'm more interested in getting Kingdom Galvatron than Netflix Soundwave.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely keep an eye out for you. If I see,
Yeah,
I'm hoping if I run into two versions, I might end up getting both of them. If I find one for you, I might get another one for me, so I can just try rubbing off all the stuff, and I can leave
oh
this
yeah,
one on display because
yeah. I don't really care for the battle damage markings myself. I mean, the siege figures, I thought it was a decent enough concept for what it was. But yeah, I don't really mind the battle damage markings, especially since I have, since I still have Titan's Return Galvatron, and even after getting Kingdom Galvatron, I'm not letting go of that figure. Titan's Return Galvatron, even though not as G1 accurate compared to Kingdom Galvatron.
I'm gonna say this: the Titans Return Galvatron is more, or excuse me, not more articulated. The Titans Return Galvatron is hang on, let me unfull screen myself real quick. Okay, there we go. Like I was saying, the Titans Return Galvatron figure is not exactly made for posing. Like he's just there. He's just made to sit there and look awesome.
But yeah, like I was saying, but what I was trying to say before we got a connection interrupted, Titans Return Galvatron's still a pretty decent figure.
Yeah. That's the first Galvatron I actually ever owned. So since the Kingdom one was coming out, I knew people were probably gonna start getting the older versions of the figures to do comparisons. So I just decided to grab them.
Yeah. The first Galvatron figure I ever got was the Deluxe Class 1 from the Universe line.
Yeah, and that was the first one I got, but unfortunately he was all blown into parts when I found him at a thrift store. But I still got him regardless, in case I was ever able to find parts for him.
Yeah. Yeah, the best Galvatron figure I personally think is one of the ones that I don't own, which is Energon Galvatron. If you want to have a G1 looking Galvatron figure that's the size of a traditional sized leader class Transformers figure, then Energon Galvatron from 2005 is when it was released. That's the Galvatron figure to have.
Yeah, I actually found the Armada. I'm going to try to get almost every single, or not every single Galvatron, but many Galvatrons as I can. I was able to find Armada Galvatron at a decent price, even though every copy I find is missing his horns, but still, whatever I can get my hands on.
Yeah. Well, I remember it was last Christmas I found a mint and box Armada Galvatron off of Amazon for $75. So that was the find of the holidays for me.
Oh, nice, man! That's awesome.
Yeah, and the best part is the electronic lights and sound still work, even though he was sealed in his box for 2.5 decades.
Yeah, I remember when you unboxed that figure, and he was corroded.
Yeah, the batteries leaked acid.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, he's way back in there. Hopefully, I don't knock anything over in the process. But okay, got him. Yeah, I was lucky to find this and I find there we go. Find Armada Thundercracker.
Oh yeah.
Even though I'm still gonna have to try to get to the batteries. The speaker is a little bit corroded. But regardless, every Thundercracker I tried to find and Starscream, his proton cannons, as if I'm not mistaken, that's what they're called because that's all I hear him say.
Yeah,
we're missing. So the wings I can easily come by. I just wanted to find them with both of the cannons.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with those cannons, and I actually did it on my own copy of Armada Thundercracker. They're pegged on because of the gimmick of having the spring-loaded missiles firing from them. So they're pegged onto the base of the figure. So that's why they pop off and get lost so easily. Yeah. I remember, Armada Thundercracker, he's special to me because He, along with the Armada version of Cyclonus, way back in 2003, they were the first ever Transformers action figures that I purchased off the internet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I found them at a website that I think has long since been deleted. I found them being sold for retail price, and I begged my parents to get them for me.
No, I can't blame you, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I never saw Armada Thundercracker in the stores, neither Cyclonus. So that was my last chance at getting them, and I'm thankful that my parents let me get those figures.
Man, even when I order, I'm gonna say this, and I'll show off a picture. I think. Let me see if I could quickly show a picture real quick the Optimal Optimus, the Transmetals Optimal Optimus that I found on eBay.
Yeah.
Even that, like, he was going for a crazy price and all that. Hang on a minute. Like I was, let me zoom in here. This is the one I found on eBay for $29. Let me full screen.
Oh no, our Master Starscream removed himself by accident.
We're in control now.
Oh, I hope he doesn't end the stream by accident. Oh, the countdown's still going. Oh, come on, Lord Master Starscream. This is your live stream. Come back. You're the host. Okay. Well. That is a tad unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that I will say, is that he's back.
He's back.
Yeah, I was going to say that I wonder if they're going to do a plot twist where Optimal Optimus appears at the end of the Kingdom Netflix series.
I'm curious about that. And every time I try to hit solo layout, they need to move the buttons. But like I said, this is the one I ordered. He has a broken chest cannon, but I'm hoping I'll be able to take care of that. And correct me, do you own this figure, TFN Geek? Because there's something I am curious about.
Yeah, I do not own any of the original Beast Wars or Beast Machines Transformers figures. The only ones I have are the ones that have been released in the Generations line. The only version of Optimal Optimus I have is the 2018 Power of the Primes Evolution Leader Class figure.
Is that the black version of him?
No, because I have the orange and blue version that was released at mass retail. Yeah, the black version was the San Diego Comic-Con version, and fans have named it Primal Prime because that was the name given to the black version of Optimal Optimus in the Transformers comic books.
I'm actually curious about if Optimal or Optimus Primal will get a hold of the Matrix somehow, and that, because I mean that is the thing that turned him into Optimal Optimus in the Beast Wars series, and also Prime Spark.
Well, actually, it was only a Prime Spark, I believe, or did he have the Matrix of Leadership? I thought that was only Machinima's series.
You might have, might have to rewatch to correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I rewatched a clip. I believe he took the Matrix, and unless both the Matrix and Prime Spark were one in that series, I don't know.
They probably were, but yeah, no, I think you're right. He did have the Matrix of Leadership.
Yeah, and also he was carrying Prime Spark in his little chest compartment in the cockpit.
Yeah.
And I'm actually curious if he will become Optimal Optimus, and we just don't know about it. And they should have showed off a trailer like almost a month before Kingdom releases. And Otto speculated that is because that they're a little concerned about it, but my guess is there's so much in that series they don't want to show too much.
Yeah.
It wouldn't impress me if they I'll be shocked if they show off the trailer like the week it releases and they're just showing off the little bits and pieces here and there.
Yeah. Because one thing that a lot of people are a little disappointed at is that Optimus Prime is still in his Siege model. So, since they're on prehistoric Earth, it looks like the Autobots and Decepticons won't possess Earth-style vehicles.
And I'm looking forward to see how they interact. This is the first time we're actually going to see them interact besides the Prime Wars trilogy with Optimal Optimus. I'm actually curious. I'm pretty excited to see how they all will interact with one another.
Yeah, and how are Beast Wars Megatron and Generation 1 Megatron going to react when they find out that they both have the same name?
I'm curious. If anything, I want to see Galvatron, T-Rex Megatron, and Siege Megatron be on screen together.
Oh yeah,
I'm curious on how that would go.
Well, considering that
all three of them.
I know. Well, considering that Galvatron time traveled in the Earthrise series and that Unicron found where he was in the timeline and took him back, I'm just wondering if did Galvatron survive and is he going to make a comeback?
Well, he is on the poster, so I am pretty curious about it, and also I'm curious on what Unicron was doing to him because Unicron finds him, then starts pulling him back to his timeline. Then all that Unicron says is, "You will suffer for this moment of treachery."
Exactly.
So I'm curious.
Yeah. Well, that was based on a story from the G1 Marvel comics. Because what happened in the G1 Marvel comics was Galvatron time traveled from a future in which Unicron became a supreme ruler of the entire universe, and Unicron basically brought about the apocalypse, and Galvatron decided the only way to end it was to time travel and change history, and the moment in history that was changed was when Megatron defeated Optimus Prime in battle, and he met Unicron and upgraded into Galvatron. And what happened in the Marvel comic story was Galvatron ended up erasing the moment in history when he came into existence because Megatron stayed Megatron, and what happened was the space-time continuum corrected itself by erasing the alternate future, and Galvatron kept time traveling to the past so that he wouldn't be erased from existence, but reality finally caught up with him and he disintegrated out of existence with the space-time continuum finally correcting the changes in the timeline that he did.
So I'm just couldn't stay going forever.
And so since Galvatron in the Prime Wars trilogy, the War for Cybertron trilogy, changed history so that Megatron stole the Matrix leadership instead of letting Optimus Prime hold on to it, is that where the Beast Wars characters are going to come and play? Are they time traveling because of Galvatron's time traveling? And what is going to be the final resolve with all the messes in the space-time continuum?
I'm pretty curious about that because the only lines we got to hear the Maximals say is that I am Optimus Primal and we are from your future.
Exactly. Optimus Primal reveals to the Autobots that the Maximals time traveled.
And I'm actually curious, like every Commander class Transformer, like Jetfire and Skylynx were in the series. Like, I'm curious about Rodimus Prime. Like, if Galvatron is from the G1 timeline, I'm curious that if he's going to be the one to go get him, like, and bring him back, like Rodimus Prime finds out he time traveled and he follows him through time.
Yeah.
And I guess and they could bring Ultra Magnus back that way, because I don't think Rodimus Prime would go in alone without help.
In both the Siege and Earthrise series, Hot Rod hasn't appeared So I'm just wondering in the back of my mind, is during the final battle amongst the four-way war between the Autobots, Maximals, Decepticons, and Predacons, what my theory is that in the final heat of the battle, Dinobot is going to grab onto the Autobot matrix of leadership, and he's going to finally have the hero's revelation, and he'll hand it back to the Autobots, and that the series will somehow culminate with Hot Rod upgrading into Rodimus Prime and becoming the next leader after Optimus Prime.
I'm really excited for this series, like I said, and I'm curious about the arc also.
Oh yeah.
And my speculation for the arc is that it's going to be some of Rhinox's doing. That's my guess. He's going to tinker around with the arc and mess around with it, and then make it transform.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if Rhinox is going to team up with Wheeljack. I'd love to see that. Rhinox and
geniuses
work together. Yeah. But that's,
I'm just saying the lines. Go ahead. You first.
No, go ahead. No, you first.
Oh, I was going to say, the lines I want to hear in the series, Optimus Primal, I want to hear him say, "Well, that's just Prime." And Rhinox, I like to say this is his catchphrase, is him saying, "Oh no."
I'm just wondering if we're going to. I'm just wondering if at one point we're going to hear Rat Trap's catchphrase, "Yeah, we're all gonna die," and then everyone's going to scold him, "Rat Trap," because I don't know how many times they did that. I don't know how many times they did that in the Beast Wars series, where right after he said that, they'd all either scold him or give him a dirty look.
Shut up, Rat Trap.
I just love that about the original Beast Wars series, is that all the other Maximals hated Rat Trap's pessimistic views.
I'm curious who's going to be voicing the other characters, and so far, and also in the footage we got to see, we pretty much got to see Rhinox, Optimus Primal, Cheetor, Tigertron, and I think I already mentioned Rat Trap. I can't remember, and also Air Razor.
Yeah, who's being chased by Laserbeak.
Yeah,
who's being chased with Laserbeak. Yeah. Did you notice that in that?
I think
scene that lasts a few seconds, that they're flying almost like the way the planes from World War II did?
I didn't notice that.
Yeah. Yeah, if you actually go back and if you actually find I can't remember what the maneuver is, but yeah, that during World War II, the planes, they would like dart back and forth around each other trying to outmaneuver to get behind one other plane, and that's what they were doing in that scene. I forgot what the maneuver is called. I wish I could remember it. When I saw that, I was like, "Ooh, yeah, they're taking footage from World War II with that flying." Yeah, so I guess you guys didn't notice that.
No, I guess I'll have to see how planes fly.
Yeah.
I'm actually curious who's going to be voicing T-Rex Megatron. We haven't got to hear him. I bet a lot of people are saying that they did get to hear him in the first footage whenever he roars and he says something, but I think it was the Autobots that said something that said "now," because it sounds like that's what they were saying. I'm curious what he's going to sound like.
Yeah, no, that wasn't Beast Wars Megatron. I call Beast Wars Megatron. I call Beast Wars Megatron Mega Tyrannosaurus. That's a name to distinguish him from G1 Megatron. What do you think of that nickname?
Yeah, that's actually a good name.
Yeah.
And speaking of T-Rex Megatron, I don't think they're good. I'm just saying, if they don't have him say yes or yes, I think that'll piss a lot of fans off. But I don't think they would do that. And speaking of T-Rex Megatron, the Jurassic Park crossover figures.
Oh, yeah.
I'm curious on what you think. And also, it wasn't the Jeep; it was the Ford.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited that they made the truck like the SUV in the film.
I'm curious what mold that is. It looks like Hound here and there, but I'm gonna have to look.
Go ahead. I said on TFW 2005 I just came out and said I think it's Earthrise, Hoist, and Trailbreaker. It's like if you look at look at the feet and how they're positioned, it's almost the same.
What?
Did you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you.
Yeah.
I was just.
Yeah.
Like
I think.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you.
I was just showing something off to someone that was telling me on what to unbox first. But go ahead.
But yeah, I think the Jurassic Park in that 2-pack for the Transformers Jurassic Park collaborative crossover set, I think the truck is moldmates with Earthrise, Hoist, and Trailbreaker. So you look at the shape of the legs and how the robot mode feet transform. It's very similar to Hoist and Trailbreaker.
And man, I was shocked on the price of the thing too. Ugh, I really want to try to get that.
I already pre-ordered a copy off of Amazon, but I don't know.
But I'm. It looks like a good set too. And I'm looking at the head. I can't help, but maybe you could give your opinion. He looks like a different version of Tarantulas' head, unless it's just me.
I honestly thought it looked a little like Grimlock.
He definitely does look like Grimlock a little bit with the visor and everything.
Yeah, I honestly thought it was based off the G1 Grimlock action figure.
Ah. And also, a lot of people pointed out for the SUV. I know that they gave him a name, and I thought it was.
Yeah,
I like how
GP93.
Like they. Yeah, and the Tyrannosaurus Rex, they managed to do a little bit of creative type thing with Tyrannosaurus Rex. I forgot what it was called, but
I think it was called Tyrannosauratron.
I think so. Yeah, the Tyrannosauratron Rex or something. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Yeah, here it is. No, here it is. I found the names. Tyrannicon Rex. That's the Rex's name. Tyrannicon Rex, and then the truck's name is Autobot GP93.
Yeah. I like how creative they went for that.
I personally don't like the name they gave the Jurassic Park truck. GP93. Come on, they could have come up with a better name than that. Like,
so what is he like a drone, and that's why he's numbered?
Well, it's like that Bumblebee. Well, it's like that Studio Series figure of Bumblebee. What was it called? B129 something.
B127. Yeah, his code name or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I like the look of the T-Rex though, and there's now already 3 repaints. There's T-Rex Megatron, T-Rex, and Tyrannicon Rex, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I really want to get T-Rex, the Target exclusive one.
Yeah, but it's a red card exclusive, so you'll have to have
a
red card to get it.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
No. They made the announcement right after it went up on pre-order on Target's website. You have to have Target's own credit card, the red card, to get T-Rex. Generation selects Red Wing.
Oh, well, I guess I'm going to have to do some digging around on eBay, but I'd be paying a scalper price for them.
Yeah, just like Generation selects Red Wing. That's how the only way T-Rex is going to be available.
I think Red Wing right now is going for right around $50-something on Amazon.
I think so.
I'm thinking about getting him. It's also the Shattered Glass Starscream. Because I really want to get that Starscream figure. And Let me think. By, by the way, I don't think we talked to you about this. The new Studio Series 86 figures of Retgar in them, or
Yeah.
Retgar and I actually like the look of those figures, and
Oh
I'm
yes,
getting it
so
from. Let me grab this figure here. I'm hoping they come out with some more Junkions.
Well, as far as I know, there's only
And
been. As far as I know, there's only been 3 Junkions that have been given names and identities.
yeah. There we go. And well, like I said, I'm excited for the stuff they got coming out, and also Red Alert has our. Oh my gosh, that Red Alert, the Kingdom Red Alert looks awesome.
Oh yeah.
Even the box art.
I just think it stinks that it's a Walgreens exclusive.
And I think he's going to be coming out right around August. I'm hoping I'll be able to find him, and also the Buzzworthy Bumblebee figure.
Well, that's the thing with Walgreens. Every Walgreens exclusive figure was at a release date of August, but that release date, it means that's the day the factory is going to start shipping out the figures from the production factory overseas to the Walgreens stores here in the States. So it probably won't be until close to Halloween that the Red Alert figures actually show up. That's what happened with Brainstorm, Siege, Ratchet, and Earthrise Blue Streak.
Oh gosh.
I hope I could check my Walgreens. The one close by, the one from Belford, and the one from right next to my old high school. I used to go there.
Well, I'm going to say this, man. Keep an eye out right around August, because that's when he's scheduled to be released.
I don't know. I could ask my sister to take me there, if she could take me there.
My local Walgreens pharmacy, it's only half the size of a normal-sized Walgreens pharmacy. I remember for Christmas, you know which Transformers figures they got in stock for Christmas?
What?
The Transformers Authentics figures.
Ugh.
Those are the Transformers figures they got in stock last Christmas. Not Earthrise, not even Siege. The Transformers Authentics figures were the Transformers that my local Walgreens had in stock for Christmas.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Those disgusting things. That's so disgusting.
Yeah.
But why?
They only have the shelving space for 6 deluxe class size Transformers on their normal toy section. That's one of the reasons why.
From what I heard about the Red Alert figure, I think he's going to be shipped in 8, like 8 in a box or something like that.
Yeah, that's because he's being a Walgreens exclusive. He's not in an assorted case. He's being sold by himself.
Yeah, and I definitely. Yeah, and I'm just saying, man. If any of you guys bump into him, I would highly recommend getting him, because the scalpers are just gonna. Yeah. They're gonna be greedy and all that. And
reason number two, Sideswipe is an Amazon exclusive. So Red Alert's going to be the easiest of the molds to find.
I really want to get that Sideswipe. I really want to try to get that Sideswipe. I watched the reviews on that figure, and it looks awesome.
I know. Same thing with Earth Mode Mirage. That's one thing. That's one thing I said on TFW 2005. In the Two Kingdom Amazon exclusive box sets, the G1 characters are the selling figures of those 2 sets. The Beast Wars characters are afterthoughts.
And people, they just want to buy it for the Sideswipe figure or the Mirage figure, not the Skywarp or the
Grimlock.
Yeah.
I'll buy them both.
Mm-hmm.
What? I don't care. It's just a reprint or remote. I'm a fool. I'll take them.
Yeah. Well, I know that Beast Wars Skywarp and Beast Wars Grimlock both have new head sculpts, but would you want to buy a grass green repaint of Beast Wars Dinobot? In all honesty, if it was sold by itself.
I don't think I would, but if it was I'll say this, if he's in the series as a character, I would buy him, but if he's not in the series, but this is the thing with me, I usually don't buy figures that are not in the series, but sometimes I'll just get a figure that is not in the movie or the series just to expand my collection a little bit more, but that's how I do it. But yeah, if he's not if Grimlock, I'll say that, and Skywarp is not in the series, then I won't buy him. And also, I think in the last footage they shown, Optimus Primal looks like he's going to be wild because he legit sliced Thundercracker's wing in half.
I know. That I thought was the most jaw-dropping moment between both of the teaser trailers, was seeing Optimus Primal, and yes, pun intended, going ape on Thundercracker and slicing his whole wing off like that. So look at him, he moved like an actual gorilla, swinging around all over the place.
I think that I gotta say there was a little brief shot of, I don't know who's chasing Cheetor unless he's just leading them, but I'll say two characters were chasing Cheetor, and like he looks a little weird looking and the red eyes, but I guess because I'm used to the Beast Wars version and not the newer version, but I'll have to see it in action a little bit more. And plus, I think they're going for a little more realistic.
Yeah, but that was the thing with the original Beast Wars Cheetor, is that there were two different versions of that figure, a green-eyed and a red-eyed version.
I'm curious, what was that about?
From what I remember reading on the Wikipedia, it was just a change in the production on the Cheetor action figure. They originally wanted him to be a red-eyed cheetah to make him look like an actual more like an actual cheetah, since I think cheetahs actually have gold-colored eyes, like leopards. If I'm being anatomically correct, I don't know. I don't really retain too much knowledge on predatory cats. Yes, but that's why Cheetor's eyes red originally, but then they decided, no, it's the evil Transformers characters who have red eyes. Let's just make his eyes green.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was just a change in the production on the Cheetor action figure, the original one from the Beast Wars line in 1996.
I'm going to say this. A thing I enjoyed from Beast Wars is when Cheetor got his new Transmetal form after, like, him having nightmares that people were calling him a freak and all that.
Yeah.
I like that one of the line. I think it was Optimus Primal. He says, "Careful, his beast mode is still feral." I like that they're bringing that. If the beast is not tamed, it's feral. Like, I like what they did there.
Yeah, because even in the Beast Wars series, they did that with one of the first episodes with Tigertron. On the main Maximals stayed transformed into their beast modes for too long, and the animalistic instinct of their beast modes started to take over them, and that's how Tigertron had to explain to them how to embrace it instead of trying to fight it, and that's what led their maximal personalities finally take back control of their brains and made them remember that they weren't just wild animals. But one thing that I think is not going to happen is that we aren't going to see Cyclonus and Scourge in the series.
Yeah. I'm getting a feeling about that.
Because part of the reasons why I think we aren't is because if we were to see Cyclonus and Scourge being created like they were in the G1 movie, Hasbro would finally have to answer the question of who became Cyclonus. Wah, wah.
Yeah, and since I have Cyclonus and Galvatron, pretty much the only character I'm missing is the Studio Series 86 Cyclonus figure, which
You can
I
Scourge.
know that. Oh yeah, Scourge. Excuse me. Yeah, Scourge. That Scourge figure actually looks pretty good too.
I found 2 copies of him at my local Target store a week ago. I don't know if they're still there or not.
And I'm gonna say this: they're already coming out with the sweeps
Yeah,
for the Studio Series line
yeah.
because they already announced some repaints.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, well,
yeah,
that was a trend that Takara Tomy actually started, was giving the sweeps their own face sculpt to further distinguish them from Scourge.
I'm actually pretty curious on what at least you could have your army building, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, Takara Tomy even designed different face sculpts for the Titans Return version. I think the head sculpt on the sweeps, they just have shorter mustaches than Scourge does, and they don't have goatees. So they basically have the sweeps are more clean-shaven versions of Scourge.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because Takara Tomy came out with a Titan Master of the sweeps that you could apply to Titan's Return Scourge's body. If you like look it up and search it, I think the sweeps are just slightly more clean-shaven versions of Scourge.
I'm gonna have to look at that.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I remember one of the G1 episodes where one of the sweeps was trying to try to take control of the Matrix, but it didn't end so well for him, unfortunately, because he was getting all melted.
I think that was. I thought that was the episode with Starscream's ghost.
I think it was.
Yeah.
I'm curious on what happened to him after that, because the last time we see of Starscream, he got his body back, and then the last time you see him is him falling through space, and Galvatron sees him, and he gets all mad because he's like, "Oh, great, this guy again." Now I have to, and he decides to just chase after him.
Yeah.
And then the last thing you see is them shooting at him.
Yeah.
So I'm curious on what happened.
Well, I know in one of the teaser trailers for the Kingdom series, we see Starscream trying to fly towards the Nemesis and attack Megatron.
Yeah, I'm gonna laugh if they end up killing Starscream like Galvatron. Real quick, I want to say this. This is something I want to see. I want to see Galvatron see Starscream. He's like, "Oh, great, this guy again."
Uh-huh.
I want to see, and probably mention something like about what happened or something. I don't know, but it would just be cool to see that see them two see each other.
What would be funny is if Starscream dies and it's Galvatron who kills him.
That would be funny.
Mm-hmm. I'm just wondering if they're going to do that Starscream, he does get killed off, but the character who's responsible for Starscream's demise is in fact Galvatron.
Yeah, and he kills the bot that caused him so much pain.
Yeah, and then he says this, and then what would be extra funny is if Galvatron responds, "This was bad comedy."
Oh God.
I mean, imagine if they somehow worked that line of dialogue into the Kingdom Netflix series.
That would be funny.
Uh-huh.
Actually, oh my gosh. Like that, yeah, that's true. That would actually be funny to see that happen. And I guess in Galvatron's mind, he would think by killing Starscream, he won't become Galvatron because Starscream was the one that threw him into space.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting if that's what Galvatron thinks.
Yeah. And one thing I'm curious of is, it's not Starscream, is Jetfire, Alita 1, and Red Alert and Chromia. Are the Autobots trapped on Cybertron? Are they finally going to escape, or are they going to be just stranded there, ended there?
Well, like I won't spoil it, but like I said, I did read the soundtrack, so I am curious on what's going to happen, on what they're going to go for.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you want me to read off the soundtrack, if you want, I can do that. Unless you just want to leave it for the series, I can do that too.
Please do. I don't like surprises.
Okay. All right. You want me to read it off for you?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. Let me. TFW 2005 Kingdom soundtrack.
Hmm.
Let me see here if I. Okay. Hopefully it's this one, because I don't know why they had to leak this out. Yeah. Let me get done doing this real quick. There we go. Yeah, I'm transforming Blur. Blur figure actually looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There we go. Okay, yeah, I definitely see the gap in there. I see what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was one people who pointed that out.
Oh my gosh, wow. Yeah, instead of just leaving it on the front of the car. All right, let me see here. Okay, I'll figure out what to do with the weapons later. All right. Okay, and a lot of these soundtracks I'm pretty curious about, and it's making me more excited for the series. And I guess and for those who watch this later, if you don't want to be spoiled on Kingdom, just back out or skip through the video until you don't hear me mentioning the soundtracks. But all right, here we go.
When the live stream's over, you can put in the video description the timestamps to skip if people don't want spoilers.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to do that. And by the way, check the comments, guys. I'll do my best to do that when I get a chance. Anyways, and the first soundtrack I'm not going to mention the time, but is Kingdom. I guess that's going to be for the opening credits of the little the icons or whatever. And number 2 is Faith Allspark theme. Okay. And this one is out. Okay. The third one, Maximals versus Predacons theme. Okay. 4, Rescue. And this one's my favorite. 5, Prime saves Primal. That one, I'm actually curious about that one. That one gets me excited. 6, The Matrix returns to Prime. Okay, this one
Prime. Optimus Prime or Optimus Prime?
Oh, you got me there. Okay, that's a good one. It says Prime. It doesn't say which Prime. Okay. And I'm hoping I'm reading this one. Oh, stupid fly. Triple Battle. Okay. I'm probably reading that wrong, but okay. And all right, this one, I'm probably reading this wrong. Titan is over. Okay, wouldn't impress me if that has something to do with the arc and all that. And let me see here. Okay, all right. Elita in the show. Okay, I'm curious about that one. Elita in the show. Wouldn't impress me. That tells me right there, somehow they survived that. You better give me an explanation on how they survived the blast. Elita 1 was in Shockwave's chamber. She was at the center of the blast. There was a grenade right next to her.
Ground zero, the epicenter of that massive thing. That fireball.
They better have a good explanation on that one. Now this one I'm excited for. I'm not kidding. Okay. Galvatron and Nemesis Prime. What? Galvatron and Nemesis Prime? What? You better release the series now.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see Nemesis Prime and Galvatron duke it out.
Oh, they better give me that. If it says Galvatron and Nemesis Prime, and the time for it is 2 minutes and 59 seconds. Oh boy. And Fight for the Future. Okay. Sparks Return. Okay, now I'm curious about that one. It doesn't say Allspark. It legit says Sparks Return.
Ooh, I hope
So,
Ultra Magnus comes back to life.
Okay.
Oh,
Cybertron. Oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
All right. Cybertron Reborn, Elita, and Prime.
Why do I get the
Something tells
feeling? So they might end the series with Optimus Prime and Elita reuniting with each other.
me have a little bit of a romance scene or something. And
Yeah, I think that would be one of the first times that the Transformers series ends on a romantic scene.
okay, I'm gonna show this one on the screen when I get done because this. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna show these off because that way you can see them because these ones I'm unable to get. But this one does have something to do with Unicron, Cybertron, and this one is a bonus track. Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy bonus track. And I'm gonna. So I'm curious. Let me zoom out. Let me scroll up. So there we go. That way you can. And hopefully. There, oh, there we go.
Unicron Epilogue Coda Cybertron Reborn Acoustic or the Cybertron Trilogy bonus track. Huh.
So Unicron. Something tells me Unicron might not have much of a role in it, but okay.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say this. The ones that get me excited from this whole list of soundtracks right here is Prime Saves Primal and Galvatron and Nemesis Prime. And I know that one right there got you right there. That one I really want to see.
Oh yeah.
And that one right there is, oh, go ahead.
No, you finish.
Oh, I was going to say that's interesting right there. The Matrix returns to Prime. And maybe it's just me. Why am I getting a feeling like this Galvatron figure right here, he comes with the Matrix. I could almost picture in my head that Galvatron comes back from the future, but wearing the Matrix, and there's two Matrixes, Megatron and Galvatron with a Matrix.
Exactly.
And then Rodimus Prime is like, "Where is my Matrix?"
And
he goes back to get his Matrix. But that's interesting.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
But
I was going to say, one of the reasons why I'm excited about that is because the only Transformers cartoon series that Galvatron and Nemesis Prime met in combat was Armada.
Yes. And unfortunately, it didn't end well for Megatron. He got his... Actually, to be honest, it didn't end well for both Starscream, Starscream, Demolisher, and Megatron.
Yeah, and Nemesis Prime tore them apart.
And the only one... And I don't think it was... To be honest, I don't think it was Nemesis Prime that took out Red Alert and Hotshot. It was more the Requiem Blaster.
At Megatron's hand. And once they were injured, Nemesis Prime came back and he tore apart the Decepticons.
And it was just a hologram of Sideways in the end. How do you get torn up by a hologram? Unless, well, actually, we saw what Sideways looks like as a hologram, unless it was Sideways all along, but he just made a hologram.
Well, that's the thing. It wasn't a hologram. It was a part
Sideways.
of Unicron. Yeah.
It was Sideways, but he just took in a form that I guess they would recognize.
Yeah. Yeah, because with that revelation of that last scene, it was ultimately revealed in Armada that Nemesis Prime was a clone created by Unicron. And that's why out of all the characters who have been black repaints of Optimus Prime, that's why Nemesis Prime emerged as the quintessential one, because Transformers fans wholeheartedly embraced the idea of Unicron recognizing Optimus Prime as his most powerful opponent, and found him enough of a threat that he decided to make an evil clone of him to fight back against the Transformers.
Yeah, I I'm currently watching Armada right now. Currently, I'm on the part where Sideways has both Megatron and Optimus Prime in that little tentacle stuff, and Megatron is just pretty much frozen or whatever, and Sideways is just doing his Star Wars thing, like manipulating them, saying, join Unicron. It was your destiny.
Yeah.
That's the part I'm currently on, but I enjoy Armada, and
so do I. That was
I'm,
the first cartoon series, Transformers cartoon series I ever watched.
And I'm hoping one day they'll try to make a live-action universe version. I mean, they're already doing Beast Wars. I mean,
Well, that's one thing a lot of people pointed out. I don't know if you noticed it yourself, Lord Master Starscream, on TFW 2005. Everyone pointed out that in the Jurassic Park 2-pack, the Jeep, the way the robot mode is designed and the way it transforms and the overall shape of it, it looks a lot like Armada Red Alert.
Oh, actually, yeah, I think I heard someone mention that.
Yeah. Yeah, the doors end up by the shoulders, the back of the truck transforms into the legs, and then the hood front section ends up forming the robot mode chest. The head pops out where the engine block would be. And so there's a lot of speculation that one of the highlights of the Transformers franchise next year in 2022 is going to be celebrating the 20th anniversary of Armada.
Yeah, I'm curious if they're going to start re-releasing Armada figures. Personally, I hope they do. It would give me a good opportunity to get some more. Because, I mean, if they're doing it with Beast Wars, and I speculated on this, if they're doing it for Beast Wars, why am I getting a gut feeling they might do it for others, like Cybertron and Energon and Armada?
The Unicron trilogy, yeah.
And like I said,
I have a lot of my Unicron trilogy Transformers figures in my collection. Actually, because that's where I started my Transformers collecting was with the Unicron trilogy. But I noticed, but I remember when I started collecting the Armada figures, half the Armada figures, the paint jobs that the action figures were given weren't necessarily accurate to the characters' animation models in the Armada series. So if we do see pieces of the Armada action figures, are they going to have even more cartoon accurate paint jobs? There's like some examples of the figures not having the same paint job as the cartoon series is Armada Optimus Prime. His hands were painted gold instead of yellow. Demolisher's face was painted black instead of yellow.
Yeah, I got one for you.
What?
No, I was going to say Cyclonus, but Tidal Wave.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, I remember reading years ago, Hasbro originally wanted Tidal Wave to have the same paint job in the cartoon series that the action figure of him had, but
oh god!
But Cartoon Network was too impatient and wanted to get the episodes of Transformers Armada aired out on television right away. So by the time Hasbro told Cartoon Network they wanted to change Tidal Wave's paint job and give him a whole new look, it was too late. Cartoon Network had already aired the episode that introduced Tidal Wave, and he retained the mostly purple and metallic silver paint job that he had in Japan.
I'm going to bring this up right now, and I'm going to say this. I'm watching it on YouTube, and it's the English and dubbed version. So it's the Japanese version, and I'm watching the subtitles, and I'm loving the Japanese version, and here's why. Blur is Silverbolt, and Demolisher is Ironhide, and Tidal Wave is Shockwave. And I'm sure that, and also Hotshot, obviously because of the paint scheme he gets after Nemesis Prime, is Hot Rod.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, those are the Japanese names of those characters. That was the way Japan could hold onto a copyright to those names in Japan.
I'm just saying that was funny to me.
Oh yeah, but that was the thing with the Armada version of Hotshot. He was designed to be a mashup of both Hot Rod and Bumblebee. But because Hasbro wasn't able to procure a registered trademark to the Bumblebee name, That's why they decided to name him Hot Shot. Yeah. So it's almost like Armada Hot Shot was Bumblebee from Robots in Disguise 2015.
Yeah, and also I started laughing at this. They got one of the voice clips mixed up. Demolisher started talking in Hoist's voice when they were doing the schematics of Unicron. I started laughing at that.
Yeah. Oh,
that was funny.
It's one of the first episodes of the series. I can't remember what episode it is. I can't remember what episode of the series it is, but if you go back and binge watch every episode of Armada, in one of the first episodes of the series, they put Demolisher's head on Cyclonus's body. And he still had his paint job. That was the worst animation error in the series. They fused Demolisher and Cyclonus together into an abomination.
Wait, hang on. Bring that up again. We gotta come up with a name for that.
Yeah, so they put Demolisher's head and paint job on Armada Cyclonus.
Demolicron?
Oh, God.
I don't know. That's
Demolishonus.
Demolishonus.
Starscream.
Or Cyclonisher.
Hey, Starscream, listen, I gotta go. I need to lay down for a while.
Okay.
All right, man.
Good night, everybody, and take care and be safe.
Good night.
Good night, man. Glad to have you on.
Hey.
Yeah.
Later, man.
See ya. But yeah, that is one of the worst animation errors in the entirety of Transformers Armada. It's one of the first episodes of the series. I can't remember which episode it was. I'd have to go back and watch it. But yeah, they put Demolisher's head on Cyclonus's body, but he still had his mostly red, gold, and green paint job.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch that. And Cyclonus is one of my favorite Decepticons in that series because he's all crazy and he's just like he's like psycho and all that stuff.
I know, and that laughter of his.
Yeah, doing all that. And I especially liked whenever they all land on Unicron and they immediately start shooting and Demolisher's like, bro, calm down. And he's like, let's start shooting.
I know.
And then
yes. Go ahead. No, you go.
I was gonna say, and he takes the whole team of the Decepticon army drones with him, and then when Unicron's little mini-cons, like the little miniature versions of his little ball guns or whatever they are.
Oh yeah, Dead End. That was his mini-con's name.
Yeah, like thousands of dead ends.
Yeah.
They kill off all the army drones, then he just starts running. And what gets me is this. He's at the cliff, he's a helicopter, and legit he has to have Demolisher save him and hold on to his hand because he's dangling over the edge.
I know.
Maybe what, did you forget you're a helicopter, you can fly?
I know. That's what I took away from that scene. Was that Unicron. No, but seriously, when I was a kid, that's what I took away from that scene. This Unicron was so terrifying that Transformers who turned into aerial vehicles became so petrified with fear they forgot they could fly away.
I'm going to say this. The most brutal death that got me, besides Starscream, was Thrust, on how he died. Like, oh my gosh. And I like the choice that Megatron gave him.
Oh, yeah, Galvatron.
You have a choice. Oh, yeah, Galvatron. That's funny. Yeah. In the Japanese dub, he was still called Megatron, but yeah, Galvatron gave him a choice. You either escape now, and I'll come after you later, or you just stay there and die. And
I watched that clip recently. He says, either I shoot you here and now, or you free yourself and get out on your own. And if you do, there will be nowhere for you to hide.
Yes. And then Megatron or Galvatron just turns his back and off. And then as it gets tighter and tighter, he starts to swell up like a balloon.
I know. But what I took away from that scene was Galvatron's final words to Thrust. If you dare to have dreams of power, you will be consumed by them.
he got consumed all right. And I like that. And I like that Thrust was like, please help me. I was just joking. I didn't mean what I said. Legit. Thrust is, that's just funny to me. And I'm gonna have to rewatch that part, but still that was just funny. And also I liked what God Sideways was saying when all the Autobots were legit destroying Unicron, that he's saying the more you fight and the more damage you do, the stronger I become. And and I also thought it was interesting that the war has been going on for so long, it's been fueling Unicron, making him stronger because he was one of the moons.
Yeah. That, to me, was the biggest jaw-dropping moment of the series when it was revealed that Unicron was one of Cybertron's moons.
Yeah. And
even more so, the fact that he actually existed. Because, like, right after he reveals himself, I can't remember if it was Hotshot or Wheeljack who shouted out the line, I kind of thought Unicron was just a myth.
I think it was Wheeljack.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was Wheeljack.
And I like how Galvatron gets onto Thrust whenever Hotshot comes to talk to Galvatron, and Thrust is like, "Come on, kill him! Don't listen to him!" And then he's like, "Are you hiding something from me?" And then he finally admits what he's been doing and takes
What cracked me up was that Galvatron grew so tired of Thrust grumbling about the war, he just started insulting him by calling him Squidhead. And there's one episode where Thrust goes, "My name is not Squidhead, it's Thrust. Thrust. Thrust." Whatever.
Yeah. That's what got me right there. And that was during the time they were firing the Hydra cannon when Prime sacrificed himself. That was funny.
Yeah. But I think that was the moment when Thrust, finally decided that he was gonna betray Megatron and the Decepticons, was when Megatron got so bored with his constant plans and them not leading to overall success in the war effort. That's when Megatron decided, okay, Thrust isn't that as competent as I thought he was, and Thrust decided Megatron doesn't care about me, so I'm gonna defeat him to Unicron, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like the metaphor, feed him to the dogs.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this. The thing I enjoyed about Armada, and this is another reason, or a couple of reasons why I would like them to do it in live action, is one, the mini-cons, robots the size of humans, you could do some mocap action.
Oh, yeah.
And also Starscream. I'm just saying, out of any Starscream,
oh yeah,
I love this version of Starscream and the relationship he has with Alexis. That made it more heartbreaking whenever he did sacrifice himself.
I know, because there's never been a Transformers series before or since where Starscream actually ended up joining the Autobots for a while.
Yeah, and also, since they have a Skywarp figure for Armada, I had a speculation on I had a thought on how I would put him in Armada. Like, you would have Starscream, then later on, Nemesis Prime would tear him up so bad he had to be reformatted into Thundercracker, and that's funny right there. He was only mentioned Thundercracker as one time. Whenever he looks at his paint, he says, "I look like
Thundercracker."
I think he was mentioning one of his Seekers. I think that's why he mentioned that, and that's why he never went by that name. And but anyway,
he kept being called Starscream.
Yeah, and then after sacrificing himself to prove a point, and also to try to shoot at Unicron, I had a speculation, or I had an idea that somehow Unicron, Skywarp like looking at the toy, Skywarp looks like a character that, or looks like he was Unicron made. So I would have like Unicron like reformat Starscream, but in a twisted way, I guess, like erasing his memories or something like that.
Yeah.
That's how I would do it. And
Yeah.
all it takes is Alexis to bring him back, because like she's the key to Starscream and him remembering who he was and what he was. And
Oh yeah.
and then he would sacrifice himself to destroy Unicron, and because after remembering, he sacrificed himself to destroy Unicron, and then Prime and Galvatron have their fight, and then Galvatron just sacrifices himself to let Prime go on and look after his Galvatron's men and Prime's men.
Oh yeah.
That's how I would have done it if.
Yeah. That's what I always liked about Armada Starscream. He followed the hero's revelation journey like Dinobot did in Beast Wars.
One of my favorite lines from Starscream, I'm gonna have to rewatch it, but I like the part whenever, I don't know which episode it was, but I like that Starscream says, "Oh great, time to get shot at again. Why couldn't I have just been a normal bot working at a factory?"
Uh-huh.
But like I said, I enjoyed Starscream's character in that series. And
Yeah.
he's definitely one of the more unique Starscreams out of all the Starscreams they ever made.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just saying, I love what they did with Starscream in this series, and he carried.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
No, because that was the only time in that was the only cartoon series where, by the end, Starscream understood what it meant to be a hero, and how the quest for power and heading down the path of evil wasn't something that he necessarily wanted.
Yeah.
All he wanted was for the war to end. And he realized before anyone else, and he realized before Galvatron did, the only way the war would end would be with Unicron's destruction.
Yeah, and like I said, him sacrificing himself was really heartbreaking.
Oh yeah.
But it gave Galvatron the motivation to join Optimus Prime. And also, one of my favorite lines after he sacrificed himself, Galvatron, when he was handing the Star Saber to Optimus Prime and sideways grabbed it and then ran off with it. I think I like that Galvatron says, "Ugh, this is a living nightmare."
Uh-huh.
And legit, it is a living nightmare because you have to deal with
I know.
a
lose
planet eater.
I know, and you also lose track of how many times the Star Saber sword exchanges hands throughout the series.
Oh
First,
God!
Prime has it, then Hotshot has it, then Starscream has it, then Megatron has it, then Thrust has it, then Sideways has it, then Unicron has it, and aye.
And oh my gosh, and I'm just saying, I'm gonna still have to rewatch the series. A lot of it was so confusing. Like the humans legit were the key. Like the humans were legit the key that changed the minicons, all the minicons to go away from Unicron.
Exactly.
And it got me too. Like the humans time traveled, and Hotshot stayed in Unicron, and also Cyclonus, Galvatron or Megatron, and
Jetfire,
Prime,
and even Jetfire.
And Cyclonus were all in Unicron, being just, I guess, drained of their life.
Yeah.
And then Hotshot says, I don't know you guys. All I've known is this. I've been here all my life.
Well, I think what it's designed to be, if I remember reading correctly on the T of Wikipedia and Edia, is that it was supposed to be an alternate dimension.
And also
an alternate reality.
Yeah, and after seeing that, and they realized that they time traveled, I think it's interesting. What made all the humans time travel was Starscream's death. When Thrust blew him in half and blew him, like, I guess, way back into the darkness, because all you see is him getting shot in the abdomen, and then down a dark hall and you never see them again. Then the Minicons react and they time travel.
Yeah.
And then the humans go back in time to when Highwire was created, and then all the other Minicons, and they realize that they have their free will or something like that.
Oh yeah, they had the freedom to choose to live their lives however they wanted.
Yeah, and they chose to live their life in freedom.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to be used as weapons, and that's why they strayed away from Unicron, because they didn't want to be used as tools for war.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why Unicron created the Minicons in the first place. He created them to see if the Autobots and Decepticons would be any threat to him, but when Unicron observed that the Minicons actually enhanced the Autobots and Decepticons and made them even more powerful, that was when he realized they weren't a threat to him at all. But before he could launch his attack, the humans time traveled into the past, and the Minicons gained independent intelligence from Unicron.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. I like it. It was when Megatron got his first Minicon, and this was during his Cybertronian form. I think it's funny that actually no, I don't. I think he already scanned the Earth mode. I don't remember, but I like whenever he got a hold of his Minicon and he started using it for the first time, and his little side gun came down to his waist. He started shooting. He lost control, and then just falls on his back and starts kicking because he wouldn't stop shooting. It just discharged. That was funny.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you actually look at that scene, his Minicon partner has a Cybertronian vehicle mode.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look at that.
Yeah.
And also, I like to think of Galvatron's horns as reindeer horns or antlers or something like that.
I remember reading they're actually supposed to be pinchers.
And also, they were used to. And they also were used to try to. Whenever, I think this was during the time he was trying to get the Star Saber sword. No, actually, it was the Sky Boom shield. I remember the episode because Scavenger says, "Do you remember the legend? What legend? The legend that blocks the sword, the shield that blocks the sword."
Mm-hmm.
But he was trying to wake up the Minicon with his antlers, and they were doing.
Yeah, they had like an energy beam around him.
Yeah.
Yeah. What creeped me out most about Megatron's horns was the final episode of the series when he extended them and he threw Optimus Prime into one of the walls inside Unicron.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I haven't got to that part yet, but I remember that part. That's for sure.
Yeah, when I first saw that, I remember freaking out. I remember jumping back and I kept realizing that Galvatron could expand his horns to whatever length he wanted them to be, and they could act as a pair of I don't know what word to describe.
I guess somehow he got a new ability from Unicron whenever he was being absorbed.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, even from the time travel scenes, the absorption, like them being drained from like those little fleshy looking tentacle things was brutal.
Yeah, it was.
And it was like, it felt like that was the scary moment, like the horror film type version.
Yeah, but I think that's one of the things that Hasbro and Takara Tomy wanted to do with Unicron's portrayal in Transformers Armada. Because like before that, before Transformers Armada, the only real major screen time Unicron had was the Generation 1 movie, and Hasbro and Takara Tomy, I think when Armada was being produced, they thought this is a chance to show Transformers fans that there's no limits to how sinister Unicron is.
Yeah.
He's willing to go to any lengths to conquer the entire universe.
Yeah. And like I said, I would like to see a live action universe version of this, and they can clearly do it with the Minicons. I mean, they did it with they did a Headmaster with a Cogman in last night, and also Frenzy in Transformers 2007.
Yeah.
And those are Minicon sized.
Yeah.
But I am curious how they would do a skateboard and a scooter and a little
Bicycle.
metal. Yeah, that would be a little bit tricky, because
Yeah.
but there is mass shifting involved. So
Yeah.
and
But that was the thing with the minicons, was that Highwire, Grindor, and Sure Shock were the only minicons who took on vehicle modes that were the same size as they were. You know, the same size of robot that they were.
yeah, and I like when they combine, they become Perceptor, which I thought was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna say this.
Yeah,
go ahead.
That was one thing I found out. Like Generation 1 Perceptor, the last two letters of his name are OR, Perceptor. But the Armada Minicon Combiner, his name is Perceptor, the last two letters of his name being ER.
Oh, that's interesting.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, after watching Armada, I've been doing work, and also oh shoot, I don't think you were after this one. Maybe you were. I also got this one right here, this Armada figure for legit. I got it for $10. I got
Smokescreen, nice. Yeah.
I got him for $10, and I like this figure because I like the big cannon he has. That's just what's ridiculous. What's ridiculous about this figure is that big, enormous cannon.
I know, and when you fully extend it, it's so heavy, and it makes him lopsided, and he can't stand up.
Yeah, and if you have tight joints, you have to make sure you have tight joints if you want him to stand. But yeah, the only Armada figures I got is Overload. But it's gonna be tough to track down his Minicon, and Demolisher and Megatron and Thundercracker.
The only Armada figure I need is Overload.
Oh my gosh, I'm just saying.
I have all the other figures. I have Optimus Prime, Hotshot, Red Alert, Smokescreen, Scavenger, Blur, Jetfire, Sideswipe, Hoist, Galvatron, Thundercracker, Cyclonus, Demolisher, Thrust, Tidal Wave, Wheeljack, Sideways. So yeah, Overload is the only one I need to complete my Armada collection.
And also you can do this too. Since you have Optimus Prime and Jetfire, you could combine those two and also still do the cannons.
Yeah.
Yeah, Overload cannons, I should say.
Yeah.
And I actually enjoy the Megatron figure, even though it's a brick. Still, it's a good figure of its time.
Yeah.
And I would absolutely love to see them do modern versions of those figures.
Mm-hmm. Well, we kind of got modern versions of Megatron, Starscream, and Hotshot in the generation.
Yeah, a repaint of the Power of the Primes version of Megatron and the Generation Starscream and the Universe Hotshot.
Yeah.
And also the Cybertron Optimus Prime. I forgot about that one. That was there at
Siege. Yeah. And Cybertron Hotshot.
Oh, yeah, that I was talking about the old Cybertron Transformers Armada Optimus Prime, the one that had that weird punching thing or something like that.
Oh yeah, the deluxe figure.
Yeah, the deluxe. I should have said that. Yeah, Yeah, the deluxe figure. That was a good posable figure too.
Yeah.
And I think that the reason why they did that is because they were trying to do an attempt on modern articulation with that figure.
Yeah.
But still, for modern articulation, even though it has a different Minicon, and when you plug it in the back, he just has that little punching gimmick. Still a good figure.
Yeah, and believe it or not, there's actually two different versions of that figure.
A blue one and a black one?
No. The Armada Deluxe Class Optimus Prime, there's a version where he does not have an Autobot insignia, and there's a version where he does.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I hope they do modern. If they don't do modern versions of those figures, at least re-release them, like just like what they're doing with Kingdom.
Yeah,
And
with the Beast Wars figures.
yeah, and I'm hoping to get my hands on some of the Beast Wars figures. Like I said, this Saturday I should be getting the Optimal Optimus, even though it's missing like all the accessories, like the shields that go on his arm, and also his little gun, and also it has that little broken cannon, which I'm gonna try to work on. But still, and also
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm still gonna also see about the gold. I'm gonna call it gold. The gold plastics syndrome, as they call it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it looks like a good figure. And you know what gets me about that the Transmetals?
Yeah.
You know what gets me when it was released back then? $20.
Yeah. I know.
I'm just saying. I wish those times were. I wish if they re-release some Transmetals figures, I will buy the Optimal Optimus. But oh my gosh, the one that is a pain in the butt to get is the Transmetals Megatron.
The first version?
Yeah, the one with the not the dragon, but the one that is all purple and copper color, and he could fly.
Oh,
and he also has roller skates and all that.
Yeah, but you know why that's hard to find? You know why that's hard to find?
No, actually, I'm curious now.
You said it a moment ago. He suffers gold plastic syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
All that coppery plastic on him is gold plastic, and it spontaneously disintegrates into a million pieces.
I'm curious on if they're going to do something new, if they re-release the figures. Like, if they're going to use shiny paint, or if they're going to try a new, different type of gold plastic. Like, maybe have it mold. Go ahead.
They did that with Combiner Wars Generation 2 Slingshot. Instead of using actual gold plastic, they made it like a dark metallic mustard yellow plastic.
Oh, I was going to point this out. I watched some of the clips when Optimal Optimus got a hold of the Matrix. I thought this was funny. When the look on Primal's face, when he saw Optimus Prime's face all messed up, he's like, and I like whenever he says, well, that's just Prime. And Rat Trap says, what's left of him? And then Rhinox hits him in the head.
I know.
Like, why you say that, Rat Trap? What's left of him? Do you not have respect for what's going on?
Well,
and then Cheetor says,
reality, it's the space-time continuum itself was changing and history was being erased, and Rhinox thinks the most appropriate thing to do is to slap some sense into Rat Trap for saying that insult.
And also, I like when Primal, I'm going to call him Primal for now, but when Primal gets his new form and Megatron comes in, he's aiming his big guns right at him. I like what Primal says, take it outside. Do you understand? Outside. And then Megatron says, you wouldn't dare fire in here. It might upset history. We have 4 million years to clean you off the walls, Megatron. I might just risk it.
Oh, yeah, that line was.
And also, this guy, I laughed at this. When Primal says, freedom is the right of all sentient beings. And Megatron says, then they better stay out of my way. That just got me right there. Then they better stay out of my way.
Yeah.
The universe cowered at the name of Megatron, and it shall do so again.
Yeah, I think blowing Optimus Prime's face off, that was Optimus Primal's final, that's it. There's no holding back. There's no holes barred. If Megatron wants to play dirty, then we're going to play dirty.
Oh, and then Megatron. I'm going to say this. I love Beast Wars for the humor they have in it, especially when they're holding a trial with Quick Strike and he's wearing the wig.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, this court is now in session. And same for the episode for Call of the Wild, when the Maximals, the beasts are taking over and Megatron is just sitting in his little, the Predacons are carrying Megatron and he's just sitting in his little chair with his shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
And also they have like an upgrade kit where you can give Kingdom Megatron the shotgun.
Yeah.
And also the fillers.
Yeah. My most favorite sense of humor from that show was my favorite comical scene in that show was when Megatron needed to relax. He had a kiddie pool and a rubber ducky in his tub.
A rubber ducky.
I mean, that I was not expecting was that whenever Megatron needed to relax, he'd take a bubble bath and had a rubber ducky to play with.
This was funny right here, and it was the Starscream episode. Whenever Starscream and Black Arachnia started betraying him, and Megatron was seeing all this on camera, and Starscream and Waspinator's body got blown into a rock. This was funny. Starscream and Black Arachnia, I'll have both their treacherous hides. Yes, I'll melt them down and use them for aluminum siding. Oh yes, indeed.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna say this: the only complaint I have about Beast Wars is that they never picked up on a lot of stuff. They say they were gonna do some stuff, but they never live up to their promises. Like, for example, Starscream says he'll be back. He never comes back. Yeah. But he swore he would. And same for the Vok. Like, you have both Tigertron and Air Razor merged together, and the Vok send him in, and then later on, Tigerhawk's memories come back. But they build up the Vok like they're going to be the big bad in the end game. But they just, after all that, they just let it go.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, Beast Wars, I enjoyed the series. Even still to this day, even with the emotional bits, especially with Dinobot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying, the two deaths that get me is Starscream and, I was going to say Grimlock, Dinobot death.
What was the real tearjerker for me was Dinobot 2's death.
Yeah, and I can understand why he did it, because, and I like that he brought up honor and it pissed Megatron off, but I can understand why he wanted to die, because there was no honor in him coming back to life. He wanted a warrior's death. He wanted to rest.
Yeah.
Which I can understand.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember someone asked me once, which characters from the Beast era did you not want to see die? And I told them, honestly, it's a tie between Dinobot in Beast Wars and Rhinox in Beast Machines, but we won't go there.
Yeah. I'm just saying, some of Beast Machines was good, but I think the thing that probably would have made it better for me is if they somehow had Dinobot in there.
Yeah.
But
or if they didn't do what they did to Rhinox.
I don't know.
That was a terrible. That was one of the biggest insults to a beloved Transformers character that they've ever done.
I don't have no words for what happened. Like, Beast Machines did a lot. They did so much bad by that series. Like, I wish they just. And I definitely know they had an idea for a season 4, if I'm not mistaken, for Beast Wars. Like, they had all these characters lined out, like a crocodile and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They had everything lined out, but they decided to go with what they did. And also, I think they were going to go worse. I'm going to try to find the video and probably make a video on this. They were going to go worse than that. They were going to make another season. I think it was called It was called Beast Machine something. Like, I know it was going to involve military vehicles or something like that.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was. And I know there was concept art for it, but they never did it.
No. Yeah, because
But,
Beast Machines was such a disaster. Hasbro decided to just pull a plug on the Beast era entirely. And that's why after it aired in Japan, Hasbro decided to do a English dub of Takara Tomi's Car Robots series.
Yeah. I'm going to have to watch that series. And also, I only watched the clips with Ultra Magnus, or the first couple of episodes with Ultra Magnus. And I saw how much, excuse me for saying it like this, but I saw how much of I'm not going to say it, but on how much of a bad robot he actually was. I'm still going to have to watch it.
How much of a jerk he was?
Yeah, how much of a jerk he was. Like,
that's a blank word to describe Ultra Magnus, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to rewatch the series to see if he does get redeemed. Don't spoil me, but later on, when Optimus Prime and Ultra Magnus are in a fire, and Magnus says, "I'm sorry, you deserve the Matrix more than anything," and then they go for a handshake, and then Magnus just tricked him. Like, I was like, wow, you are almost worse than Sentinel Prime from Animated.
That's the thing. They turned Ultra Magnus into Starscream.
Oh shoot, I'm gonna have to check that out.
No, not literally. I'm just saying the way he acted, personality-wise, they made him act like Starscream, and like Starscream does with Megatron.
Oh God! But I'm just saying, like, they make you want to hate that character. Like,
I know.
Hey, here's Ultra Magnus. Now we want you to hate him, even though you love the character. It's time to hate him.
I know.
But
I will say this is, hopefully without spoiling it.
Go ahead.
But just like most of the Transformers cartoon series, such as Prime, and out of all the Transformers cartoons, as far as the pacing of the storytelling, Robots in Disguise 2001 is most like animated. It starts off really slow, but by the time you get to the end, you're full of so much energy you don't want it to end. On such a fantastic note.
Yeah. And also, if I'm not mistaken, they bring the Predacons into that, and Megatron is the Predacon.
Yeah, that's one of the things that, because it first aired in Japan, Takara Tomy wanted the series to take some of the source material from Beast Wars Neo and Beast Wars Second, where the main bad guys are the Predacons instead of the Decepticons. So the series starts as Autobots versus Predacons.
Yeah, and that's the thing right there. From what I heard, what they're doing with the Rise of the Beast movie, they want to move away from Decepticons. The Decepticons will be involved, but they want to move away from that and give the Autobots another villain, and that's why they're doing the Terracons.
Yeah, and the Predacons.
Yeah, and also I think it's interesting that the Maxim, even if the Maximals and Predacons hate each other, the one faction they hate the most is the Terracons.
Yeah.
From what I heard of the description. And and I have a speculation for that series, and I brought it up. They describe both Airazor, Rhinox, and Primal as rugged and beaten. Like, there's bits of fur here and there, but it looks like it's been torn off, and they look old and rusty and steampunk looking.
Mm-hmm.
And since I know it takes place, some of it will take place in Peru, something tells me they've been fighting for thousands of years, and the humans never knew. Even since it's taken place in the 80s, the humans still never knew about them. Even the military, with their satellites, I guess, from back then, could not find them.
Yeah,
because
and that became one of the aspects of the original Beast Wars series that worked, was because before the Industrial Revolution, when if the Transformers ever visited Earth, the only things they had to vehicle modes they could take on were the animals living on the planet at the time. That's why in the most recent cartoon series of Transformers Cyberverse, Grimlock took on a T-Rex for his alt mode because when he woke up from his hibernation capsule when it fell out of the Ark, it was the Cretaceous period.
Yeah. So yeah, and also they say that Rise of the Beast is going to be like a heist movie, and I'm going to guess that it might have something to do with the golden discs, but that's just my guess. And also, I'm excited for some character. And also, Nightbird is going to be part of the Terracons. I'm excited for Nightbird.
Oh, yeah.
And it makes me want to. I'm still trying to track down the Generation Selects Nightbird.
Oh, yeah. I hope you'll be able to get it because she's a fantastic figure.
I forgot that figure even existed also when I did my research, and I was like, oh, shoot, I need to get her. So. And I found her on Amazon, so I'm going to try to get her when I can. And
oh yeah.
And please. Also, yeah, I definitely will. And some of the characters the Autobots side is Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, RC, and Mirage. I think those were the ones that were listed. And I like how they describe Bumblebee. Like, he's going to be a Z28 Camaro, but with off-road extensions and some rail bars on him with lights on the top of the roof. But the reason why I guess he would have all that on him is because they're dealing with beasts. And they need to have much armor as they can. Same for Optimus Prime. If you saw that picture that was taken with Optimus Prime all covered up, but he has that ram bar. Yeah. That's because they're going to be dealing with beasts. They need to have all those rail bars on them or something like that. And and I know a lot of people are going to be upset about this, but I think there's a redemption on this one is Mirage. He's going to be a Porsche 911, just like Jazz, but and his personality is like Crosshairs from Age of Extinction, and he'll transform into multiple vehicles. I don't think he will transform into multiple vehicles. I think they were trying to say that he's going to scan different alt modes, then become the race car later on. That's my guess. Yeah. And I could be getting this one wrong, but RC is going to be a Ducati motorcycle, and I think from what I heard, her robot mode is going to be based off of Transformers Prime, which I could kind of see because I look at the Cybertron version, like, here's Prime RC. Her motorcycle wheels are on the back of her legs. Yeah. But if you look at the model from the bowling movie, she has those big tires on her back of her legs. Yeah. For the Terracons, like, I believe Nightbird is supposed to be a Nissan GTR, and I don't know about Scourge, but from what I've read on him, like, he's a bounty hunter like Lockdown, and when he kills, I guess, Autobots, Decepticons, or Maximals or Predacons, he takes the faction logos, tattoos them onto his body, and he has a big claw arm with electricity flowing through it, and smokestacks on his back, all smoking and on fire or something like that. And when I hear the word smokestacks, something tells me it's like going to be the Car Robots version of Scourge, like Nemesis Prime, and for, like I said, for Air Razor, Rhinox, and Primal, like I said, they're all steampunk looking and all. They look like they've been through some stuff. Yeah. And I will point this out. Hopefully I can find this real quick. I love how they describe Optimus Primal in the article. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Sure. Like, it just makes me want to laugh here and there, but I know this is something to take seriously for the series. Let me see here. Where is it at? Let me see. Okay. Oh, let me do that. Okay. Okay, where's it at? Okay, might have to go back one more.
Hmm.
Okay, darn it. Okay, all right. I think it was. Okay, I think it. Yeah, it's this one. All right, here it is. Okay, hopefully I'll be able to read it right. Okay, where's it at? And also, they showed off the artwork from Transformers the last night with Optimus Primal's artwork. They said this is what he'll look like, but with much more fur. If you remember that artwork, if you've seen it.
I have not, but I'll take your word.
Okay, I'll show it to you since they. But like they said, it's with much more fur on it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they could
See.
easily turn that into an actual gorilla.
And let me do that. Okay, where is it at? All right.
I got a Mecha King Kong vibe from that.
Yeah, I know what you mean by that. Okay, I think it's this one. Okay, Optimus Primal. All right, remember the TLK CGI concept art? Yep. But with much more fur, he's the leader of the Maximals, and is very protective of those who are under his protection. You don't mess with Primal. That just gets me right there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't mess with Primal, and he's very protective, and I can see why, because they have to deal with the Maximals and the Terracons, because
Oh yeah.
I can see that on why he. And all right, patches of skin and fur layered on top, like he's been through some stuff. He's the leader of the Maximals, end quote. So yeah, I could see them being on Earth for thousands of years. If they're all rusted looking and all torn up looking, I can see that.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
And not only we're getting Kingdom, or hang on, let me read. Not only we're getting Kingdom and Autobots and Maximals and Decepticons and Predacons will be interacting with one another, but we're going to be getting it again next year in live action, and I hope they do it justice, especially. And I know a lot of people want Gary Chalkman back as Optimus Primal, and I forgot the actor's name. I know by the time I pull up this article, I'm already going to remember.
Gary Chalk and David Key.
That's the thing. I'm curious on who's going to be voicing T-Rex Megatron. I'm hoping he's going to be in the series. That will be awesome.
Yeah, David Kay.
And but the actor that they confirmed for Rise of the Beast is the actor that played in the Power of the Primes trilogy. And I listened to his voice. I don't think it's going to be the exact vocals they use, because they might enhance it a little bit.
Yeah.
Ron Perlman will be voicing. Yeah, it says Ron Perlman to be the voice of Optimus Primal in Transformers: Rise of the Beasts next year.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and I know people would want Gary Chalkman, but I guess if that gets enough hate, I guess then they might go for it. But I am curious. But if they're gonna stick with Ron Perlman, I'm curious on how he's gonna sound.
Yeah.
And I just remembered
Is he going to try and do his own Optimus Primal voice, or is he going to try and do an imitation of Gary Chalk?
I guess if you want an idea, watch the Power of the Primes trilogy. If you want,
exactly.
Yeah, if you want to, I think you might be able to watch it on YouTube. I don't know, but I'll have to look and see.
I have a website where you can watch it for free.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's what I would recommend. Listen to his voice, and and I just remembered one of the lines he never said was, "That's just Prime," but and I'm going to say this. I'm excited for both leaders in Kingdom, Optimus Primal and Optimus Prime, to interact with one another for the first time, actually talking to each other. Same for live action.
Yeah.
Two leaders.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess legends in their own nature.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I can hardly wait for Kingdom to come out on the 29th, if I'm not mistaken, of this month.
Yeah, it's towards the end of the month it's going to come out.
Oh, gosh. And hopefully sometime in the next couple weeks we'll get a trailer.
Yeah.
If not a trailer, but if they don't release a trailer and they're just going to show off that little bit of footage, I guess that's fine. At least we'll be surprised on what we see, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I'm wondering how they're going to do the story and all that stuff, and how they'll part ways. And I think I heard a rumor. I don't know who I heard it from, but I think someone was saying that they might continue the Netflix series, but something tells me if they do, it might be with the Beasts. But I guess depending how the series does, or how this season does, and if it gets green light for a fourth season with Beast characters.
Yeah.
And I'm
you know what I'm wondering if they're going to end it on is like some explosion occurring, and when Optimus Prime wakes up, Shattered Glass Megatron is going to be standing next to him. Imagine if they ended on that note with Optimus Prime stuck in the Shattered Glass universe.
Oh gosh. And they are releasing Shattered Glass figures, so I'm curious now. And like I said it before and I said it again. I'm going to say this, for those out there, if you want something new with Transformers, and I know a lot of kids don't want to see Optimus Prime be the bad guy and Megatron be the good guy, but still, it's something new. Do a Shattered Glass series or a live action universe version of it, one or the other, but I would do a series first.
Oh yeah. I would watch a cartoon of the Shattered Glass universe. And
plus, from what I heard, I like Starscream already in that. Because he doesn't want to become the leader, but Megatron sees him as he wants him to be leader one day if something ever happens, but he doesn't want to be. That's another unique thing about Starscream right there. He's not wanting, but if you want a Starscream for the Autobot Shattered Glass side, you might as well go with I think Rodimus Kron, and I think almost everyone is trying to overthrow Optimus Prime as leader.
Oh yeah, because I think if I read correctly, Optimus Prime actually stole the Matrix from Alpha Trion when Alpha Trion couldn't activate it himself.
Oh God!
Because you know how, like in the standard universe, in the regular universe, Alpha Trion gave it to Optimus Prime. Well, in the Shattered Glass universe, Optimus Prime took it from Alpha Trion.
Yeah. I'm going to say this, and in the Earthrise series, I wanted to point this out on stream. I kept rewatching this part over and over again. It's when Optimus Prime shoots the grenade when he's trying to kill Scorponok, and they all get blown back into the wall, and Megatron and Optimus Prime are having that conversation. This is one of my favorite lines. Optimus Prime is saying that they should put aside their differences and work together, and Megatron says, "No, I would rather die here than be carried out by you."
Uh-huh.
I love that line.
Oh yeah.
And even though the Siege series is getting a lot of criticism, I'm actually enjoying it for what it is. And like I said, and I'm right there with you. I would like to see. And by the way, I'm going to call him Classic Megatron. Classic Megatron is getting way too many surprises from the future. He's getting a surprise from Galvatron, and now he's going to get a surprise from the future, version of himself.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
Actually, that's the thing. Beast Wars Megatron is a separate character.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Comparing Beast Wars Megatron and Generation 1 Megatron with each other, the same thing as meeting two guys who are both named John.
Yeah. And in the Beast Wars series, like you got G1 Megatron and there's Beast Wars Megatron. He's just carrying the title. Like for an example, Optimus Prime is Optimus Prime, and Optimus Primal is just carrying his name.
Mm-hmm.
It's the pass of the torch. Like another Decepticon will become Megatron.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
And I can hardly wait to see their on-screen animation models. And I'm going to say this. It's obvious, looking at the Kingdom toys and looking at the group shot of the Maximals, they're not toy accurate. Like, Rhinox looks like the Thrilling 30s, and if you look at Optimus Primal, he has the Maximal logo at the center of his chest.
Yeah.
And I'm curious.
That's one thing that everyone pointed out on TFW 2005 is that it's based on, the animation models are based on the concept art for the Kingdom figures. And it's believed that's the only reference that producers of the show had was the concept art.
And
it's like when you look because like when you look at the concept art for Kingdom Cheetor and Kingdom Rat Trap, they're identical to the animation models for the Kingdom series.
Yeah, I'm curious on what T-Rex Megatron is going to look like, and I hope they got a really good voice. I already heard Optimus Primal's voice. I'm a little about it. I'm going to have to hear it more, like I said. Now there's two characters I need to hear the voices of, Dinobot and Megatron.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm okay. And I'm going to say this. I'm glad they got back returning characters for this, or returning actors for the Netflix series. The actor that's playing Megatron in this series, that ain't the first time he played Megatron. He actually, the Prime Wars trilogy, same actor.
Yeah.
And same for Starscream, the Prime Wars trilogy.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved Megatron's voice in that series.
I'm going to say this. People might not admit it. That's a unique Megatron, because he actually, even though he still had the bad side here and there, but still he remained good.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this. His death was sad when he sacrificed himself.
Yeah.
Never in my life, and I'm sure it goes for other people, you would never cry over Megatron's death until now. Oh,
never.
And also, the words he said, like, he doesn't before he never considered the Autobots his team, but whenever the Matrix of Chaos was, whenever he was struggling, and Optimus was aiming the Regulium blaster, saying that this is the way, and Rodimus says, it's true, this is the way. And then Megatron says, it's true, this is the way, but hey, it's the least I can do for my team.
Exactly.
But I love when Unicron is saying, no, not when I'm so close. And Megatron says, oh, shut up. But still, his death was sad. Even Optimus Prime's voice, whenever he came back and says, when Primal says, he stayed true to his word. He did sacrifice himself for Cybertron. And Optimus Prime says, we all made sacrifices, Optimal, as did Megatron, my brother. But the way he said my brother sounded like he was crying.
Yeah, or repressing his emotion. His depression. Well,
I'm going to say this. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm sorry.
You're getting tired, man?
Yeah. Yeah, we've been at it for 2.5 hours, so.
Yeah. I will say this real quick. Even though people don't like the Prime Wars trilogy, I enjoy it. It's pretty good.
Oh, same here.
I like to think of it as kind of a continuation of G1 a little bit, but in the continuity, but a little bit different.
Yeah, I like to think of it as like a continuation of both G1 and IDW's comic books.
Yeah. But yeah, man, thank you for coming on, and I'm hoping to do a live stream. I'm gonna hope to do a live stream on Saturday, and I'll probably start right around the same time as I did. That way you can jump in if you want to. And
yeah, thank you.
I'll do and I'll be talking about the Optimal Optimist I get.
Okay.
Thank you for coming on, man. I'm glad to have you on.
Oh yeah, thank you very much.
Would you like to share where they could find you, or?
Sure. So you guys can find me on my own YouTube channel and on Discord. I have the same name, TFN Geek. I love to talk about everything Transformers related, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me, and I'll be happy to share what knowledge I have on the Transformers franchise. Lordmaster Starscream?
Yep. You can find me here on YouTube, obviously, at the Ghost of Lordmaster Starscream. Same for Instagram, TikTok, Discord, and Twitch, and Stereo, and also on a Community for All of Us YouTube channel, and Autocorrect Primer's YouTube channel also. And yeah, I think that's about it. And I hope everyone has a good day, and I hope to see you guys either on Friday or Saturday. If I'm lazy tomorrow and I do another live stream, I'm going to start it right around 9 now. That way gives TFN Geek time to jump in. And yeah, I think that's about it. So if I don't see you guys tomorrow, like I said, I'll see you guys on Friday with Optimal Optimist. Thank you guys for watching, and Autobots, roll out.
Goodbye.
Later.
Till all are one.
Oh my gosh, the countdown still. It takes so long.